All right, so a couple of days here we're going to spend on continuous improvement. Implement continuous improvement processes within the supply chain. Well, the first continuous improvement process is benchmarking, where we select practices and results of one company are compared with another. So we go out and find somebody like John Deere and compare our purchasing procedures to theirs. 3 ways to conduct benchmarking: identify world-class companies and visit them for information gathering. It's what we do with John Deere. Respond to surveys from third-party independent research organizations, which is plug for ISM. That's what they do. And read studies for CAPS. So these last two are both what ISM does. They send out surveys to Fortune 500 a lot and ask all kinds of questions. And then they produce this Center for Advanced Purchasing Studies is an arm of ISM. They produce studies on it. And then we covered this in one of the B7 quality tools, but well, process mapping we covered, which is this, called flow charting. Enable analysis of inputs and outputs and other interrelationships. Understand how a process interacts in a system. Define boundaries. Use the simple symbols and lines. So here's some of the symbols that are pretty common. And then there's SIPOC. High-level view of a process. It stands for supplier, inputs, process, outputs, customer. Ordered from start to finish. Starts with the suppliers and finishes with our customers. And if you want to know more about it, you can go here to Go Lean Six Sigma. They'll tell you all about SIPOC. It's looking at a process from supplier to customer. Then there's value stream mapping. And I think most of this stuff is on ASQ. Yeah, American Society for Quality, although I don't know what they call themselves these days. Lean manufacturing technique in which the transformation of material is traced from beginning to end. And you can go into tier 3 suppliers if you want with value stream maps. So to our customers. So you can go all the way from a tier 3 supplier to our customer. It's appropriate for high production, low variety product mixes with few components and sub-assemblies because it's a lot of work. So usually purchasing will not do a value stream map, although we need to be able to read one. Usually a value stream map is done by somebody in manufacturing, engineering, or quality. Things like identify a target product, draw a value stream map. I'll show you one. Current steps, any delays, required information flows. So and then you do a future state map. So here's a value stream map. You got lead times down here. CT is cycle time. CO is changeover time when you're changing over the tool. And then you've got uptime for the machine. So this is milling, welding, painting, assembly, and inspection. And then you've got electronic inputs here. And see, this is just looking at one factory. It's producing, it's not looking at suppliers or customers. Determine boundaries, outline the process, add information flows, collect process data. You're looking for things like excess inventory, long cycle times, low uptime, excessive setup times, poor quality rework. Here's some of the definitions that you'll see on a value stream map. First time through, FTT, demand, batch size, all this good kind of stuff. This is why it's usually done by manufacturing engineering. And then you've got business process reengineering. So once you do your value stream map, you look at it and go, wow, that's kind of messed up. We need to re-engineer this process. Allows the organization to view their business process from a fresh perspective. So it's customer focused. Customer is the ultimate authority and what they consider value add. In other words, what's the customer going to pay for? BPR, business process reengineering, also involves redesigning of associate systems. And there's 3 phases to it. There's an analysis phase, design, and an implementation. Continuous improvement of activities developed and sustained by the team is the ongoing work after a process improvement project is formally completed. So then you move to continuous improvement after completion of the project. So here's 5 principles. You got the concentric circles here: information technology, continuous improvement and change management, business process redesign, teamwork. In the middle, you got business process reengineering. It's at the intersection of all 4 of those circles. Wise use of technology, change management, cycle, continuous improvement of processes. And then there's process costing. Our Teardown Benchmarking Center will do this for us. They also have a group over at Kenworth that'll do it, the DFMA group. In-process costing, material, labor, overhead. You're trying to determine what the supplier is paying for all that on the part. Accumulates costs by department as opposed to job orders and assigns these costs uniformly. So there's a thing called ABC, or activity-based costing. It's covered in test 1. Basically, it's assigning overhead to the products that are using that overhead. So quality engineers, manufacturing engineers, if they're used on line 1 but not on line 2, then their salaries go against the overhead on line 1. That's the idea behind ABC. Total cost can be determined, then divided by the value and non-value added. Try to work to eliminate the non-value added. And the costs that are purely value added can be computed, resulting in a value add ratio. Yeah, that's nice. Here's process accounting. ABC International produces purple widgets, require processing through multiple departments. First department of the process is casting. And during the month, the casting department incurs $50,000 of direct material costs and $120,000 of conversion costs, which is taking the direct material and making something. And the conversion costs of direct labor and factory overhead, that equals $120,000. And the department processes 10,000 widgets in March. So this means the per unit cost of the widget passing through the casting department during that time is $5 direct materials and $12 for conversion costs. And the widgets move through trimming department further, and these per unit costs will be carried along with the widgets and that to that department. So if you want to know more about process accounting, there's a link here. Our buddies at accountingtools.com, they're pretty good explanation of it. And then these are all accountingtools.com connections too. And then we go into the next continuous improvement product, is something called maturity model. States and requirements, products, software, and products enabled to move to the next step. So this comes from software mostly. The capability maturity model integration developed by the Software Engineering Institute. Integrate traditionally separate organizational functions. Yada yada, covers the following areas and includes appraisal method. So this is the CMMI model. There's these different levels, and you just try to figure out what level you're at based on these descriptions. And then this will tell you this gives you more about what happens at each level. So that's the software, what do they call it? the capability maturity model integration, CMMI. You can also do the same thing with commodity strategy models. So this is an ad hoc commodity strategy, and there's a basic commodity strategy, then there's a structured commodity strategy, enhanced and integrated. The company just has to go and define what is involved with each step. And not all commodities will require an integrated strategy. So fasteners are probably fine with basic. Tactical leverage commodities may be fine with basic or structured. It's your strategic and bottleneck categories that are going to be up here. And then this is another variation called the contract management maturity model. This is a government thing mostly. So an article here you can read about from the US Navy. Government's very formal about opening and closing contracts. We just tend to leave ours open. 6 contract management process areas, procurement planning, government calls it solicitation, but it's sending out the RFQ. Source selection, contract administration, and contract closeout. So those are the 6 steps in their maturity model. And they don't have it. Starts with the survey of assessment. All right. Which continuous improvement process measures the effectiveness of an organization's contract maturity process? And we were just looking at that. Any guesses? Not the tube down here. Better be this one, contract maturity model. B it is. And we got one more. Which of the following are continuous improvement approaches? So these things, I always kind of pick out one that I know is true, that I know for is a continuous improvement approach. So then I go, of course, they've got I can only throw out one that way. And then I have to look at improvement metric.
Yeah, D.
Yeah, probably, because total cost of ownership really isn't a continuous improvement thing. Let's see. D it is. All right. So there are 7 questions out there. You guys go ahead and start working on them. Raise your hand when you get done. Otherwise, we'll go over answers at 2:25. E3. Oh, more questions though. There's nobody on the door. Peter, are you about ready? You might have stepped away.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. All right. Let's go over some answers here. Number one is Bravo. Value stream mapping identifies processes with no value or where elements of a product or service weight. Two is Charlie. Continuous improvement of activities developed and sustained by the team is the ongoing work. So sustaining continuous improvement is always the last step. Three is Delta. Business process reengineering is customer focused. Four is also Delta. Reengineering involves replacing an existing process with a completely redesigned one. It is the opposite of continuous improvement, which keeps the existing process and works to improve it. Oh, so A, B, and C are all various methods of continuous improvement. All right. Five is Alpha. Although a contract management maturity model is used for improving the process of contract management, is focused solely on contract management. B, C, and D are widely used throughout an organization operation to improve a wide variety of processes. 6 is Charlie. And what you need to do is add the 200 and the 75 together and divide by 17. And you get 16.8, which is Charlie. And then 7 is Delta. Process improvement charts do not specify deadlines. All right, so tomorrow we will go and finish off this with some more stuff on continuous improvement. Ooh, total cost of quality, Lean, Six Sigma, all that good stuff that we just got through studying again. This is kind of a cool chart we'll cover too. All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.